Salve te discipuli. This is Help for Your Latin Studies in Henle First Year Latin, exercise number 226. In this exercise, we will be translating sentences from English into Latin. And whenever we do that, I like to parse the English sentence first so I understand more about what the different words are doing in the sentence and can translate their endings correctly. So let's take a look at number 1. It says, all things were being attended to by the general. So what I see is we have a subject, noun, things. So this will need to be in the nominative plural form because it's plural. Things. Which things? All things. How many things? All things. This is an adjective, by the way. So we're going to mark that as an adjective. All things, what? What is being said about all things? All things were being attended. So 3 verbs together. And in Latin, that will combine into one word. In English, we would say helping verb, action verb, or transitive verb, or whatever. But in Latin, we have to consider what is the person, number, tense, and voice of this verb and make it one word with its ending. Okay, so let's think about that. Were being attended. The things were being attended. Were the things doing the action of attending? No. So this is not active voice. This action is happening to the subject. It is in the passive voice. And things, our verb needs to agree with our subject in number. So we know that this is plural and a person in number, actually. So we know that this is third person. It's things. It's not you and it's not me, right? So it's got to be third person and it's got to be plural. So we have a third person plural. Now let's talk about tense. Were gives us the hint that this is past action. Past and ongoing. They were being continually attended. And so that in Latin would be considered the imperfect tense. So we'll give all of those little notes there so when we look for the right ending, we can find it. All right, and then we have attended to. Actually, this is included. I didn't see that there, but that is included. The verb is actually attended to in Latin. So we're being attended to. Okay, and then finally we have by the general. We have basically a preposition and an object of the preposition. And in Latin, we would call this whole phrase an ablative of agent. So this must be in the ablative case and it's singular. So I'm just making that note here. And then our word for by is going to either be a with a macron, or ab, depending on our Latin word for general. If it begins with a vowel or the letter H, then we'll use ab. If it begins with any other consonant, then we will use a with the macron. It's similar to our rule in English about those articles a or an. You know, if the word that follows a or an is a vowel, starts with a vowel, then you would use an. If it starts with a consonant, you would use a. So it's a very similar rule. The only difference is that in Latin, the form that would have a noun following it that starts with a vowel would also include an H. An H was included in that vowel. Okay, so enough about that. So we're going to call this our ablative of agent, telling us who is doing the action of attending to the things. All right, so let's consider what these Latin words may be. Our word for things, our subject, is res rei. It is a 5th declension noun, and we need it in the nominative plural form. So if you think through the 5th declension endings, you have ace, ae, a, and then again ace, arum, abus, ace, abus. So we're just going to leave this as res. And our adjective all is a quantity adjective. Quantity adjectives come before the noun that they modify. Quality adjectives will come after the noun that they modify. So in this case, we're going to put the adjective, which is a quantity adjective, before. And remember that that adjective must agree in gender, number, and case with the noun that it modifies. So we know that this is nominative plural. We also know that fifth declension nouns are generally feminine. So we want our adjective to be nominative, plural, and feminine. Okay, so with that in mind, since it's probably been a little bit since we've looked at these adjectives, this is an adjective of the third declension, omnia, or omnis, omne. So I need to look at this page in the grammar book that's about adjectives of the third declension. All right, so starting with omnis, omne, we want to look for feminine, nominative, plural. So it's going to be here. So the ending is also ace, omnes. And that will go before our noun race. So omnes, race. I'm going to skip over the verb. We'll put that last. So we'll jump over here to our ablative of agent. Our word for general is imperator, imperatoris, third declension noun, and we want it in the ablative singular form. So think through those third declension noun endings, various, is, em, e. So it's going to be imperator, e. And so since that starts with an I, imperatore, we will precede it with the form for by as ab, because it starts with a vowel. Ab imperatore. And then finally, let's think about the verb. I'm going to add those macrons. I'm not a master of macrons, you may notice in some of my other videos, but I do try and put them in when I remember to. So omnes, res, ab imperatore, and then our verb. Administro, administrare, that's the verb meaning attend to. But we want this in the passive voice, third person plural, and imperfect tense. So I'm going to turn here, this tab here marked passive, and look at our model verb that's in the passive voice, imperfect tense, third person plural. Our ending should be abanter. So we have administra banter. There's our stem, administer. Forgot an R there, I'm sorry. Administrabanter. Connecting vowels, that A with the macron. So our final Latin sentence should read, omnes res ab imperatore administrabanter. I hope this has been helpful. Have a great day.